This is Pukar, an international student from Nepal who came to Canada 8 months ago, and most of his time is spent at his work or at school as an international student. However, with all these things limiting him, he was still able to sign his first email client, and I brought him on to share his story as it's very inspiring and an amazing example of what dedication looks like. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and this interview I did with Pukar. Welcome back to another video on my channel, everybody, and today I have another collaboration video with one of our elite email community members and student, Pukar. The reason I brought him on is he has a very amazing story. It's the perfect example of, just hard work, persistence, and not quitting despite the circumstances that you might be facing. I'm gonna get him to go ahead and tell you guys more about him and how he started email marketing, and just his whole journey. But yeah, again, welcome, Pukar. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the people and, just tell them a little bit more about you.
Okay, so I'm Pukar. I just came to Canada about 7 months ago in April, I guess. And I started my agency 2 months in after I got to know about my mentor. Right now, more than my mentor is like a brother to me. I got to know about him and then I started. And it's been about 5 months running an agency. I've seen great progress. I'm much more ahead of what I used to be when I started. So it's been an amazing journey as of right now. I have so much more to achieve, so much more to get skilled. And yeah, that's
awesome. For those of you that don't know, he's a student, right? He came to Canada as a student. So, most people might not know your day-to-day life is go to school, go to work,
come back,
go to work, go to school. Like it's
hard. I wake up at about 6 and then leave for my work at 6:30. I reach work at 8 and then 8 to 4 I work. Then again 2 hours traveling and then I come back, attend my classes, do my assignment, and probably I start my agency work at night because that's when I'm free. 4, 5, 6, 7 hours of deep work, and that's how I've been running my agency. Right?
Yeah, and this again, no excuses, right? He's a student. He literally, when I tell you he has no time, on paper, but he's making it happen, right? And again, English is not his first language. This dude didn't even know what email marketing was prior to April. But you were able to sign your first client in your first 2 months or 3 months?
First 2 months.
First 2 months, right? So I think how it started is you discovered me through your friend.
Yeah.
And then this is another crazy part, and another thing about international students, they are not like, financially well by any means. If anything, they are, it's very hard for them to find, especially in a city like Toronto, where the cost of living is just rising and rising, right? So he saw me and he's like, I want to learn from this guy. So he just put a down payment of every dollar he had, just hoping that something might happen just so he can kind of learn, the skill and just start this email marketing journey. And again, crazy, right? The person with no time and no money was so dedicated that he's like, all right, I'm going to go all in. And you said the first 2 months, you were able to secure your first client.
Yes.
How did that feel? And tell us a story about that as well.
So let me start. Like when I signed up for Elite Emails, I used to work in factory. And I used to live in Brampton. I used to travel for 3 hours in the morning, wake up at 4 in the morning and then go to Vaughan and go to my package factory work. Then again, work till 7 hours, I think, till 3:30. And I can travel 3 hours, come, do my assignment. And by the time I start, I think, like generating leads and sending cold emails, because at that time, I didn't have money for software, so everything was manual. I was spending probably 6, 7 hours extra till like 12 or 1 in the night just to send out cold emails. And at that time, I didn't know how it works. So I didn't have domain. I was just sending out to my personal Gmail account. So it didn't work out, but I got to learn a lot. Probably the weekly email, like weekly calls with Jasper and Justin helped me a lot to grow. That's how I signed my first client. Like there was this call and the factory was closed that day. So I think it was Friday. We have weekly calls with Jasper. And then he walked me through like how to set up domains and how to send cold emails correctly. I did that for a month and I signed my first client.
Wow. All he did was just do what we told him to do. He did not overcomplicate it. He did not make excuses. He said he had no money for software, but still made it where he could do what he needed to do to get the result. Now, how did it feel when you signed your first client, man? Like, just,
I can't explain it. Like, it was probably one of the best feeling. Like 3-4 months of staying awake till 3-4 in the morning. And, it's painful. It's not easy. It's not possible to enjoy the initial part of the journey. It's like probably when you don't have money, when you don't have time, you're risking it. And I need to pay my own fees at that point. I was risking every money that I earned went straight back to my business. Like I didn't even know if I'll be successful, but I just kept on trying, and then it's working out. I'm not at a place where I want to be, but I'm probably very ahead of where I used to be, and that's, I think, a very big progress for me.
Yeah, no doubt, man, no doubt about it. And you know, and another thing that I liked, you know, which the mindset has changed now because I want him to grow and scale. But I also remember when he got his first client, he said, "I'm just gonna focus on this client, gain a lot of experience, and just get results for this client," right? And that's a mindset that is something that we need to talk about, right? Is because outside of just getting clients, I think we said this in the video with Tamid as well, is like the retention, or was it Aiden? Like the retention is as important, right? Like delivering results, doing good work. And I'm pretty sure the client that you were working with, she has been burned by like 10.
Yeah,
it's like, tell them the story about that, the video and the experience with the emails.
When I reached out to her, she replied to me, I email marketers are full of shit, and like remove me from emailing list. And then it took me 17 emails in like a week to sign her, to get her on a call. And when I signed her, she was like, I walked her through what I'm going to do for her, and she was impressed. She even told me like, thank you so much. Like nobody else did this for us. And she had spent $10,000 just for a website, and it was shit. And then she had again spent a lot of money. And she's doing pretty well because her store was shut for 9 months. Like all of the previous agency, they burnt her down. So it was like I had to set up all the flows, set up all the campaigns, and even guide her. I was working for free. I used to guide her like, like right now you need to focus on the acquisition part, and this is how you build your funnel and stuff. And I'm not getting paid for this. I just I'm getting my skills.
Right. You're literally giving her advice on things you're like, that, you know what I mean? Like you're being more than an email marketer. You're being an asset. I think that's a huge thing.
And something that has helped me, say, starting her own business apart from this, a shop life business. And she has even invited me to work for her because of the amount of value that I gave her for her business. So it pays off. Like everything that you give to others, it comes back to you.
And another thing as well with you is like you were willing to do the work for free for a period of time because you understood that the experience matters.
It matters.
The network matters. The hours that you put in matters, because it's okay if you don't get paid now. Eventually you will get paid.
And it's just like 3 months into the game. So
like, like
a lot of time.
Yeah, you don't want to think that way. I think that's the common theme that we're noticing between all the people that we're bringing on and interviewing, is that they have the period of time where they're not doing anything, but they have a long-term approach and mentality to it, right? It's like, it's okay if I don't win in 2 months, 3 months. It's okay if I'm not a millionaire in a year. You know, that's not even a reality, right? It's not a reality, but just understanding that if I just get better day by day and progress, eventually I'll win, you know?
Even like Alex Hormozy focused a lot on giving value for free.
Yeah.
And then you'll get paid later. So
yeah.
And I take like people who are better than me, I take their words very carefully. So like every time I come around with Splash and like his friend circle, I just keep quiet and listen everything. That's how you take in value.
Right. Indeed. Talk about some other obstacles that you went through when you were, you know, just running this business, trying to do this business. You can even talk about like non-businessy stuff, personal stuff as well that's involved when you get into things like this.
I think the main hurdle that I faced, like running a business, being an international student, was first thing finance. But I think that's like a lot of them have, so this is not an uncommon issue. But the second thing is time. I had to make time, like wake up early. I don't have car, so I need to travel in like public transport, and I spend like 4 hours a day just on traveling. And the thing is, I can't even work at that time because, you know, the buses is packed. You don't get a seat. You can't take out a laptop and work. So it's just like 4 hours of wasted time. And my thing is like, I've started to plan my days, so I know what to do. And I think planning days has really given me this advantage of getting things done faster and more efficient, since you already know what to do. And I think, this is the only hurdle, like skills. I'm getting my skills brushed. I'm working on my skills. So, and finances, everybody have problem with finance and stuff. So that's not a common issue.
Yeah, no worries. Again, interview was short just because, you know, and he's still in the early stages. It hasn't even been, 6 months since you started email.
5th month.
Yeah, but the reason I wanted to bring him on is, you know, again, this is the perfect story of persistence and just having a hard work ethic no matter your circumstances. Because I promise you, a lot of people in his situation can just make excuses and not do it. And a lot of you sitting and watching right now, you have way more time and way more money than him to like pursue whatever you want to do, right? So it's more the matter of the will than what you have and what you don't have. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I always say, where there is a will, there is a way. If you have the will to find the way, you will find the way. And he had the will. And I also know a lot of your friends had started the same time as you, but none of them are doing it now. Because again, they didn't have the will to find the way, or they didn't stick to it. They were thinking too short term. So these are some things to remember. You had anything to add before we end the video, bro, on this?
Yep. My only advice to you is just keep on working. It will pay off, probably not in 3 months, not in 4 months, but there will come a time where you'll start seeing results, and that will give you motivation to even continue further. So just keep on doing what you're doing.
Perfect. Pukar, thank you again. Thank you for coming. Oh, forgot. We do formal handshakes here. Thank you again for coming through, man. Proud of you just to start. Hasn't even been 6 months, man. So I'm just excited to see where you're going to go. And I can't wait to make this video again in a year and just see the transformation and see what we'll be talking about. But thank you again for watching this video. I appreciate you guys so much. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.